Welcome to California Edition, coming to you from Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. We're inside the Cannon House office building. We are joined by Juan Vargas. He is a member of the U.S. Congress representing San Diego and Imperial counties, one of the newest members of the U.S. Congress. How's your new job, man?
I love it.
Tell me why.
Well, it's an honor. I mean, it's an honor to be here. You know, you walk around the Capitol late at night after a meeting, and you walk past where Abraham Lincoln was. You know, Abraham Lincoln was in the Congress. There's a little plaque there where his desk used to be. So, I mean, that's what an honor that is.
About maybe 30 years ago, you were a student at Harvard Law. Another gentleman was a student. His name was Barack Obama. You played basketball with Mr. Obama. Would you have ever thought that Mr. Obama would be in the White House and you'd be in Congress when you were on the court shooting some hoops?
No, I would have treated him better.
Exactly.
No, I never thought that. You know, he was a very judicious guy.
He was.
We always thought he was going to be a judge.
Interesting.
You know, very smart guy.
He still could
reserved.
be.
Yeah, he still
could.
That's
He's
right.
young enough. He's young enough.
That's a good point.
Well, I was going to say. So you're enjoying your job. You're doing the people's work. And especially in San Diego and Imperial counties, the people's work is focused upon what we know as immigration reform.
That's right.
And I want to get a sense from you, what are your constituents saying to you all the way across the California-Mexico border? Because as you had told me, you represent from one side of California to the other.
That's right.
The entire Mexican border.
That's right. You know, interestingly, very unanimously, they're saying we need comprehensive immigration reform. But the saddest issue really has been the military. You know, a lot of people don't understand this, but there's a lot of military, especially wives, who are undocumented. We had a Marine come up and testify and basically say this. You know, I've done two tours of duty in Iraq. I'm going back to Afghanistan. The only thing I fear, and not death, I don't fear about death. That's what Marines do. We die. He says pretty starkly. Because the only thing I'm afraid of is they may deport my wife when I'm gone. Then what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to help her when I'm in Afghanistan? They deport my wife to Mexico. And I have two young daughters with her, my wife. What am I supposed to do for my daughters?
So what do you say, as you're looking into their eyes, what do you say to them? You're a new member, you're working hard, but this is a very divisive issue. What do you say?
Well, this young man, I'll never forget what he says. He goes, I want you to think about me every day. And I said, you know, how can I not? I mean, you may not even come back, but how can I not think about you? You know, and I thought I thought that he was probably wrong, that he could in fact legalize his wife. She would have to leave the country for 10 years under the current law before she could come back. And he says, how am I supposed to live like that? So I'm supposed to take my wife then to the border, tell her to go to Mexico for 10 years, and then come back. Who's going to take care of my kids? And how can I do that to the woman I love? I mean, it's just wrong. We've got to change the law.
Well, there's no doubt that many Californians, Democrats and Republicans, would agree with you. The challenge becomes, when you look at the Republican caucus, it's filled with many members who don't represent gentlemen like you suggest, who don't have ag interests in their district. What do you say to those Republican members as they're considering this issue and their constituents are saying no amnesty?
I tell them this, remember Ronald Reagan? And remember your own faith, your own churches, because the churches have been here now in force. Catholic churches over here, but now we have all these Protestant churches, evangelical churches saying, you've got to do this. You absolutely have to do this. It's the right thing to do. It's in the Bible. Our constituents now are these people that we've evangelized, and they are now, you know, our parishioners. You've got to help out on this thing. So I have to tell you, I think a lot of the people here, Republicans, everyone, they're opening up their hearts for change.
We hear the faith community in support of reform. We hear labor in support of reform. We hear business interests in support of reform. It seems like it's a perfect trifecta, or trinity, if I can use that cliche. But still, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's going to happen. And the reason it's going to happen is because you do have the churches involved, you do have businesses involved, and people are changing their hearts about this. They're saying, okay, they did something wrong, but it wasn't a criminal act. I mean, it wasn't what we call malum per se.
I'm a lawyer. I know what you're saying.
Malum per se, not in itself.
For our viewers on HLN, we thank you for joining us.